Hey, good morning. Well, I'm on them, I'm riding them. Got the WTB CZR carbon wheels on here. I got my tires pumped up to where I want them. And I'm headed out to find out if I can find that sweet spot. Stay tuned. So today is one of the two rides that I'm going to use for my litmus test. By that litmus test, I mean, go pull over here and have a look. It is a very cloudy day. As you can see, I'm enjoying a very mild September for Southern California. It really almost feels like fall. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? Oh yeah, litmus test. So, gonna really pretty much use two rides to find out if this is legit result or not. One of them is my 20-mile loop, which I'm going to include in my little bigger ride today. And I'm going to run some film in a minute, and we'll show you what that's like, put a little, maybe some cool tunes behind it. And it's got a little bit of everything to it. It's got, like, starts off with a 3-mile paved climb right out of my door, which is kind of rude. Does some big paved rollers, and it ends up down a little narrow road, and then through some abandoned old crummy road. Looks like Tarzan lives there. And then we hit the dirt, and the dirt climbs very steeply and gets very rough in places, and has just been rutted to pieces over this winter. I gotta get riding. See you back after the interlude. And now the dirt begins. Well, I'm actually tacking on some miles to my 20-mile loop today. It's kind of a little forest access road. It's mostly used, I think, by utility companies to get up into here and manage some of their stuff. But it makes a really nice gated access road up into the forest. It's an OHV kind of area. Pretty lightly used, but it makes a fine little gravel bike ride. Yes, it does. And what a day, what a view, huh? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ooh, sun came out. Haven't seen much of that in the last day or two. Hope I'm not overdressed. By the way, notice my sunglasses? Aren't they good looking? Tifosi again, yeah, Tifosi. And I mention that not because, well, shout out to them because they provided these for me because I asked nice and they like the videos I've been doing. So yeah, that's cool. But I point that out because in your bag, in your gear bag, I think it's great to have at least 2 pairs of glasses, maybe 3. First one is a dark lens, right? For daytime regular rides. But a changeable lens like this is, what do they call that? We know where the sun makes it get darker and no sun makes it get lighter. Whatever that's called, can't remember. Too old. Having a set of those, man, that's awesome. Awesome for changing days like this. Anyway, I think these things are good looking. They're comfy. They don't cost a lot. Anyway, yep, that's an ad for Tifosi. You know, this road's kind of interesting in that it's kind of giving me this long, well, it starts off pretty steep, and then it gives me this long kind of false flat. And it kind of lets me know, you know, if the bike is pedaling along well, how it feels in, you know, in that regard. And I have to say that, you know, what you expect when you get into a carbon wheel, you expect less weight over alloy. And I did. I certainly got less weight. I'll put that up on the screen, how much weight I actually saved. Hang on, adjust the screen here. But it was pretty good. It's pretty significant. And I can feel it. I can feel less weight. I can feel it on the whole ride. Because we've been doing a fair amount of climbing, most of it, you know, all on the road, but uphill is uphill. And I also noticed that nice responsiveness on those, some tight corners with kind of high G stuff. Yeah, feels good, feels good. So far, that part, that's a win. I'm getting what I expected to get. That is a stiffer, more responsive feeling wheel when it comes to pedaling inputs and acceleration. So we'll be in the dirt fairly soon here, and then I'll connect back to my 20-mile loop. That's the real test where it gets really rough. But I think by the time I come out of this ride, this section, I'm gonna have a pretty good idea of what is what. We shall see. Camera doesn't really do it justice, these little rollers. Some of them, not right here, but back there, they're steep and they're short. They're like maybe, I don't know, 20 feet, but like 15, 20% grade. So they're not long, you know, but you got to get out of the saddle and get on it. That's where I really start to feel the response of these carbon wheels. Yeah, totally feel that. Drink water. Always good advice. Thank you. I think I will. Turnaround point. You know, having a nosh here. One of these days I'm going to do a video on my own personal nutrition journey, because I'm still tweaking that even at my age, after almost 40 years of being an athlete. I'm still sorting that out. Made some changes over the last couple of years that have been dramatic for me. So I'm going to sit down one of these days here and I'm going to chat about that. But this, man, this is one of my favorite nummies. This is a toasted tortilla with a big old dollop of salted almond butter and honey, like a little burrito. I'll put the calories and stuff down on this, but it packs a punch, and man, absolutely delicious. Anyway, I'm going to leave the pressures I've got in my tires right now for this road back. It's pretty fast. It's 20 plus miles an hour in places. So that 34, 33 PSI. I was going to drop it, but I think I won't. I'm going to wait to drop it a little until I hit the rough dirt. I think I'm going to go down to maybe 30. We'll see. Anyway, beautiful day still, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying riding these wheels. See you in a bit. I know I was a little more tire pressure than I'd probably run in there, but that whole response in there, totally acceptable, totally acceptable. Slightly stiffer, but I wasn't getting like just beat on like I've had in the past with some carbon wheels. So things are looking up. Okay, off we go. Well, the sun's sort of coming out. Here and there it's playing peekaboo. In the meantime, I stripped a little bit of clothing. I'm going to stop now. I'm into the section of the roughest dirt is coming up, and you may have seen that in the preview little clips I showed. Take my little SKS air checker here. I'm going to blip a little air pressure out because the last time I rode this, I did at 30 pounds. Same tires, the alloy wheels, this bike and all that. And I want it to be same, you know? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit this, and I'll probably see you at the end, okay? Here you go. Ho! Okay, I'm tired, my bike's dusty, I'm hungry. You know, I was going to extend this out into, ooh, my ears are all plugged up. That was a lot of descending. I was going to extend this out to one more ride before I made my conclusion. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call it right now for the sake of brevity and all of that. But first, before I give my summation to the court, the good things, and if I noticed any, the less than good things of this 35-mile ride I just did with 4,500 feet of climbing over lots of mixed surfaces, all kinds of conditions. I can't imagine anything else I would do that this ride didn't have with these wheels. So first of all, the good. Well, they're lighter. I'll put the weight on. If I haven't already put that on the screen, I'll put it on again. It's a significant weight savings, and when you can take weight out of your wheels, man, I'll tell you, you'll feel that, right? As long as you don't go too far and make the wheels a big noodle to ride, you know, it's a win. They're stiffer, absolutely stiffer. And I notice it on every place where you'd expect to notice a stiffer wheel. It's more responsive when you get out of the saddle. Cornering, it's you know, it's on its line. Yeah, so lighter, stiffer, well, it's what you'd expect, and frankly, it's what you expect and you're paying for, right? Because when you get into a carbon wheel at this cost, you're going to expect some performance jumps. So the less than good, if there is anything less than good, there's a couple things I noticed. Well, first of all, well, they're not cheap, are they? They're not. And so an alloy wheel set is just almost always going to be less money unless you like build it with like a Chris King hub or an i9 hub or something like that. And then, you know, but even then, it's probably still going to be cheaper than a good carbon set of wheels with a quality build like these. And stiffness does have a slight cost to it. One thing I noticed was kind of interesting. I noticed it 3 or 4 times on the ride, and at first I thought maybe it was me, but there would be times where I'd be coming across a rut at a fairly sharp angle and the wheel would kick out away from the rut. I wasn't, you know, like losing control, and I wasn't particularly going fast all the time. Sometimes I'd just be going slow. And I wonder, I kind of was thinking about it, I wonder if that's because the wheel has less ability to deflect and just kind of whoop and you know, instead of being jumped away. I don't know, just something I noticed. But where before, with some of the other carbon gravel wheels I've used, I would literally be bouncing. My wheels would be leaving the surface of the dirt on like rocks and heavy bumps. And these didn't do that. So it wasn't that going on, but it was kind of interesting to note. So after all the good things and maybe the less than good things, is it a win? Did I get what I was looking for? Did I get a carbon wheel set for gravel bikes that didn't beat me up? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, there were some moments where I could feel the extra stiffness was working. Put a little bit more impacts into my ride, but there were just as many places where that extra lightness and stiffness was working for me, and responsiveness and agility and climbing ability and acceleration and all that. And that's really what I was looking for, isn't it? I was looking for that carbon wheel for my gravel bike that didn't take away more than it gave. And you know what? The CZR, that's exactly what it did. It gave me as much as it took, and it didn't take very much, and it gave really some really good things. Thanks to WTB for sending these to me to try and check out. I appreciate that very much. I'm going to enjoy riding them, and then they'll probably go back in the box to the WTB mothership. Anyway, you guys enjoy your week. If you've hung along with me so far on this pursuit of a little bit of comfort and performance, I appreciate it. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is getting in my box of tires and trying to find those tires that maybe will eclipse my absolute favorite Resolutes here. I don't know, that's going to be tough. We shall see. Anyway, stay tuned to the channel and come on along with me. I've got all kinds of stuff going on. In the meantime, you guys go ride your bike. Take care.